Sort of tuner you'd expect to find in a sort of like a rack system or stack system, they used to call them, I think, in the 80s. Cheap budget Sony tuner, flying leads out the back, nothing very fancy. Quite attractive looking tuners. I mean, all the stuff of this era was sort of looks very much the same. Now this one's in because it's just wants a service. I think the person's bought it on eBay. Or a boot fair or something. And he said the signal strength doesn't seem to be very good, and it doesn't actually. I've just plugged an aerial in, and as you can see, even on a fairly strong signal here, the signal strength meter hardly moves. I would say for it actually, it's got actually a really nice. You can't hear really, but it's got a really nice sounding and quite a wide IF, medium and long wave. So it's actually not a bad medium wave, long wave radio, but obviously he wants it for stereo. So what I was going to do is do a quick alignment on it just to see if we can improve it at all. I haven't got a manual for it. I'm having difficulty finding one. It's an ST-11L Sony, but I'm not too worried about a manual. I think there's not a lot of adjustments on there. It looks like things like the discrimination things are all pretty well set. You see the signal strength meter peaks around centre tuning, which suggests the discriminator is pretty well set, so I'm not going to mess about with anything like that. I'm just going to see if I can tweak up the front end again, just so I can get the signal strength up a little bit, because you can see it never ever gets off the mark bottom really. I mean, I'm only using a length of wire, but most tuners will pull the front, pull up halfway signal strength. So I'm just going to check the front end. It might absolutely be fine. It might be a blown up transistor in the front end. I don't know. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's have a quick look inside. And it's pretty basic ply board back to it. And then you've got a sort of basically a single stage front end. It hasn't got an RF amplifier or tunable RF amplifier. You can see here this is the FM RF front end. That's your oscillator trimmer, or your trimmer adjuster for the VHF or the FM band. And it looks like you've got a trimmer here. Oh, actually no, it does look like it has got a tunable trimmer. I stand corrected. So there's the one trimmer for the FM there, which is probably an RF amplifier, and then the aerial tuner probably here. So it's fairly straightforward set. You've got pots here for the 19 kilohertz. That's probably the pilot tone pot. Set the stereo decoder. That red one there will be medium wave and long wave IF pots, I should think. As would that one be probably the medium wave. That red one, that black one there is probably the medium wave oscillator. So the main oscillator coils on these radios, you usually find that you just bend these coils slightly. You can see here, these coils here, this coil here, and this coil. You just twist them or move them further apart to alter the inductance to get the radio into alignment. I'm not going to bother with that. They won't have adjusted really, and I'm not too worried. You've got a couple of tuning caps down here, there, and there. These little padder caps, and they're probably for the high frequency end of the medium wave and long wave bands. There's another one there and another one there. So probably for the long wave and medium wave, you've probably got the low end and the high end. I'm not going to adjust anything like that, and there's the FM discriminator there, and probably that's the detector diode. But so let's have a quick look. I mean, the standard procedure on these tuners is to tune into something in around the VHF, the middle of the VHF band, and then tweak the not the aerial, but the RF amplifier first. So let's go to around here. Okay, we've got fairly feeble signal strength, so this is the RF amplifier, this one here. I'm going to just tweak that so we can bring this in a bit stronger. It's coming in a little bit. Oh, look at that, that's come right up. So okay, it's peaked there, but that's already miles better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tune it to, okay, there's a signal's fairly weak signal there, and I'm going to now tune the aerial tuner to match the aerial to the front end of the set, and hopefully that will bring it up a little bit further. Down a bit. It's coming. It's peaked up slightly, not a lot, but it's come up a little bit more. So I'm going to come back to 100 megs, around 100 megs. Should be a station at 100 megs, Kiss FM. Now you can see this is Kiss FM, which is on 100. You can see the scale slightly off. So what I'll do is I'm going to tune the set to 100 megahertz, and now I'm going to adjust the oscillator coil, which is this one. This is the main oscillator. I'm going to bring that so we get the signal come in. So we just watch the signal strength and the turn it very, very sensitive to the direction. Wait for it to come in. No. Of course, the problem with this is you need to know which station you're tuning to, and I don't think that's Kiss FM. So, I mean, it's fine, you can wait, but the easiest thing to do is inject your own signal, carrier frequency 101 megs, turn your generator on, and it should have a 1 kilohertz tone. There it is. So yeah, I've mistuned it. So go to 101 megahertz, and then it's just these caps are very sort of sticky, and they go in big jumps. So let's give it a tweak. So we're watching for center tuning. It's difficult to get this. There you go. I've got a parallax error, obviously, with the camera, but it's pretty well tuned on 100 megahertz. It's actually possibly slightly high. To me, that looks about right. It's not that critical really, but it's nice to get it as close as possible. We've just got to check the scale linearity as well, so it's a tweak. Nope. So we're looking for the tone now from the Marconi. Here it comes. Nope. There it is. Full signal strength, as you see there. So I'm transmitting quite a powerful signal. So that's good. So let's just go back. Let's go to 90 megahertz. Let's give it 90 megahertz carrier. Okay. Oh, we're very close. It's reading very, very slightly low, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's just see if I can bring that in with the RF trimmer. Probably not actually. No. Okay, let's just do that a gentle tweak on that capacitor. I don't know if I'm, because you see even though I've got full signal strength, the discriminator is producing a slight output, so that the FM tuning signal's slightly off. So just tweak that. There we go. It's pretty good. Let's get it back again. This is a very touchy adjustment, and this I'm really being overcritical now. So there we go. That's in line. With it up to 100 let's try 107 megahertz. It's nice and easy to mark that. I know it doesn't look like 107 here, but it's actually smack on there now. A bit of parallax is the problem. 107 megahertz. As you can see, it's almost in tune. So there we go. So yeah, the scale is slightly off. Now what you do here normally is you just get into one of these coils and give it a tweak. We can give that a try actually. We can always put it back again. So what we'll try and do is we'll increase the inductance slightly. So take the screwdriver away. You see this center tuning. We'll just give it a slight squeeze together. It's not easy to do because these are covered in wax, these coils, and they're quite resilient to bending. Let's try this one here. Bear in mind I'm working blind on this because I haven't got a manual. And you can see there, that wasn't making no difference at all. So this is obviously the oscillator one, this lighter coloured one. These wires out of the way so you can see. Yeah, and it's all soaked in wax as well, so it's obviously easier to see. Okay, see the winding now. Okay, so I've detuned the set slightly. Okay, so I've increased the inductance. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and see if I can get the scale calibration linear. So let's go to 90 megahertz. Now I've got to go back down. Okay, it's a little bit better, I think. So let's just tweak that with the capacitor again. The way we'll know is when we come back up to see if we can. Okay, that's 90 megahertz. That's pretty good actually. And let's go to 107. Oh, it's better actually, much better. No, she's spot on. There you go. If you see the signal strength now, we're centre tuned. We're absolutely smack on 107 megahertz. So yeah, that worked well. That's brought that into line. Well, I'm going to reduce the power to 10 millivolts to this aerial, and then I'll tune to. I think we'll tune to mid scale, say 97 megs. And then an RF level of 10 millivolts. There we go. Actually, funny enough, it's slightly off scale in the centre now. So it's obviously we're not going to get it linear. If I can't get it, if I get it right on the extremes, the centre will have to. You'll never get it in on the centre. So I'm not too worried about that. It's the RF trimmer. Bring the signal strength up as high as I can. And then let's have a go at the aerial trimmer, just so you can get it up any higher, but I don't expect to be able to see it to get much higher than it is now. No. So we're basically peaked now. Let's just go up to the top end and try it. That will signal that station will do nicely. Okay, I'll get a slightly more out of the top end, so I'll do it here. That's it. So that's it. It's peaked up on the front end. Haven't touched the IF stage, and most of it looks pretty unadjustable anyway. You've got adjustments for discriminator. You've got these ceramic filters here, that the 10.7 megs IF filters. So not a lot you can do with these sets now. And this sort of age, they became sort of unadjustable on the IF stages. So, but it's good. It sounds alright actually. Seems quite sensitive, and it's a nice looking tuner. As I say, it's only a budget tuner, but it doesn't mean it's no good. So yeah, thanks for watching, and that's quite a useful guide if you want to just do a blind alignment on a sort of like a tuner that you haven't got a manual for. Thanks for watching.